Welcome back to another episode of Goat Worthy Reactions, where we mainly like to focus on the goats on this channel. And today, we're definitely dealing with some big old Billy goats, man. We got Led Zeppelin with Stairway to Heaven. Now, listen, I got the lyrics pulled up, and I also have the lyric video, just so that we can follow along a little better. Now, listen, it's not the first time I've heard Led Zeppelin. We have covered them on the live stream. I think we did about 2 to 3 reactions. I don't recall which songs they were. It was a little while ago, but join us on the live streams on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, man. 4 p.m. Central Time. We have a blast on there. Get familiar with the community. Love the community on there. If you guys want to get familiar with us, join us on the Patreon as well. Description box below, you can find the link. Let's not waste some more time. Led Zeppelin, Stairway to Heaven. Very peaceful. I just want to say that this reminds me of a little bit of the intro that I heard on Leonard Skinner's Simple Man. Yeah, kind of gave me a little reminder. I don't know what it is. Maybe the instrumentation. Mama told me, like, I'm hearing that. Very beautiful, very beautiful.
There's a lady who's sure all that glitters is gold, and she's buying a stairway to heaven. When she gets there, she knows if the stores are all closed, with a word she can get what she came for.
Wow.
She's buying a stairway to heaven.
I like the direction so far.
There's a sign on the wall, but she wants to be sure, 'cause you know sometimes words have two meanings. In a tree by the brook, there's a songbird who sings. Sometimes all of our thoughts are misgiven. It makes me wonder. Makes me wonder.
It's nice.
There's a feeling I get when I look to the west, and my spirit is crying for leaving. In my thoughts I have seen rings of smoke through the trees, and the voices of those who stand looking.
Woo. Oh, this is so beautiful.
It makes me wonder. It really makes me wonder.
Okay, let me stop it right there. There's a lady who's sure all that glitters is gold, and she's buying a stairway to heaven. Okay, so, man, that's a dangerous sentence. For real. Not because she's evil, but because she's convinced. You know what I'm saying? She's convinced heaven can be obtained the same way worldly things can be obtained, and and everything else, with status, with influence, wealth, and just leverage, I guess. Right? That's what makes this character so fascinating. I think she's not searching, she's purchasing. Interesting. When she gets there, she knows if the stores are all closed, with a word, she can get what she came for. Um, Listen to the arrogance hidden in that, right? Just like the assumption that every door opens for her. So the assumption that privilege works everywhere, even before God. Interesting. Isaiah 55 verse 2 says, why do you spend money for which is not bread, and your labor for which is not, which does not satisfy, right? So in other words, like, the woman isn't hungry for gold. She's hungry for peace. She's just looking in all the wrong places. In a tree by the brook, there's a songbird who sings. Notice how nature keeps showing up, right? The songbird, the brook, trees. It's like while she's chasing something she can purchase, I guess, or she believes she can purchase, creation itself is quietly pointing toward truth. Almost like the answers she's searching for were never for sale in the first place. Okay, and this line, even though we didn't hear it in its totality, it's on the screen too, and it whispers that soon if we all call the tune. I just feel like this song is in a very spiritual realm, and it's pretty deep. I would say even as far as like, we're in the gospel right now. We really are. We're in the belly of the gospel right now, and I hope he expounds more on it, because we're barely halfway through, and I would love to see that bold, just spiritual courageousness. You know what I mean? But let's keep it going. I like what I'm hearing so far. Love his voice. I love how soothing his voice is. So his voice is almost perfect for this type of message, because it's easy to digest. It sounds beautiful. He's not doing, a whole bunch of vocal acrobatics. He's more so like, hey man, I got a story to tell, and I think you're really going to connect with this one. I think you're really going to see yourself in this one. And I think that's what the woman is. The woman is the metaphor or the visual interpretation for who we are in this world, or who we've been, or who we sometimes fall to. So the woman is, I don't want to talk too much about the woman, but that's what I'm getting at it right now. So let's keep it going though. Let's run it back a little bit.
Really makes me wonder.
Makes me wonder.
And it's whispered that soon, if we all call the tune, then the piper will lead us to reason.
Wow.
And a new day will dawn for those who stand long, and the forests will echo with laughter.
Makes me wonder. I love the decision to let the beat breathe. I love that decision, because what he said was very heavy. And I love the fact that the beat is being able to breathe. So you're able to process everything he said. Not, completely, because he said a lot. But I think what he said was so important that it's hard to just move on to the next verse or the next chorus or whatever the case may be, right? Even a guitar solo. That was just the beat breathing. That wasn't necessarily a solo. So it's like, what a smart intellectual musical decision. That is called emotional intelligence, because it was a lot of emotional things he said that people can connect to spiritually as well. And he allowed us to sit in that. Well, they allowed for us to sit in that. And that was a great choice, a great musical choice. But let's keep it going. Rewind it a little bit.
If there's a bustle in your hedgerow, don't be alone there. It's just a sprinkling for the May Queen.
Hey!
Yes, there are two paths you can go by, but in the long run, there's still time to change the road you're on.
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Woo!
And it makes me wonder.
Makes me wonder.
Your head is humming and it won't go, in case you don't know. The piper's calling you to join him.
Wow.
Dear lady, can you
Oh, that's deep. I like that. Woo. The writing. Oh my God. Ugh. That was nice. Woo. The beat switch up. Oh. Yeah, let them. Oh my God. Oh, that sounds great. Oh, that's beautiful. Everything coming together. Everything's coming. Let's go. The guitar, the drums. That's beautiful. Oh my God. I gotta watch the live. I have to watch the live. The live is next. Oh my God. Oh man. Oh. What? Our shadows taller than us. Wow! It's crazy. How did this song do this? Woo. And one is all. To be a rock and not to. This is so fantastic. That's so good. What a message. What a message.
And she's buying a stairway to heaven.
Let me tell you right now, that was so I'm not gonna say surprising, but that was so satisfying. The beat switch up. I was okay with the tempo just staying the way it was, kind of how Simple Man does, right? With Leonard Skinner. I couldn't get Leonard Skinner out of my mind. Not that I was distracted by it, but just the fact that this time of music was so legendary that songs like this were coming out. You know, Leonard Skinner were coming out with records, and it was like the evolving change of rock and roll was so beautiful. Even when you get to the more progressive style rock, even with Yes, even with Metallica in the early '90s and stuff, like it's just like it's the fact that rock had an evolving status, right? And it's still probably evolving today. I'm less familiar with today's rock, if I'm being completely honest with you. I know I've heard a few bands, but just the legendary classicness of what we're listening to is just amazing. And that switch up was proof of true artistry, man. It's just like that decision to switch up like that and lift the energy, because I was good just sitting in it, right? I was just sitting in it, taking in the lyrics. I loved the slow beat. I loved it. I was good with that for the next freaking 10 minutes. And yeah. And then it uplifted me, and it just, I felt the spirit. I almost caught the Holy Ghost in here. I'm not even lying to y'all. Not even lying. So, and it whispers that soon we all call the tune, the piper will lead us to reason. Now, the song shifts here at this point because it stops talking about accusation. It's more like it starts talking about more so awakening, reason, wisdom, and understanding is what we're getting into now, right? So, yes, there are two paths you can go. You can go by. But in the long run, there's still time to change the road you're on. I just wanted to get to that line because I really appreciated that line, because it's spiritual. You know what I'm saying? It's spiritual. I'm not pointing it towards any religion per se, but I am going to say that this song doesn't exist without the gospel, if we're being real, right? Because this is a lot of what the gospel teaches, and he's doing that. He's making the gospel feel modern, making it feel acceptable, making it feel less of an attack and more of an evaluation of yourself. That's not easy to do. It's very hard to do. It's very hard to do. So kudos to him, or whoever wrote. I'm not sure if Rob wrote this, or whoever wrote this, right? That's exceptional, man. That's probably the most hopeful line in the entire song, because the song isn't condemning the woman per se, right? It's inviting her. That's beautiful, man. There's a difference there, right? And I feel like that's literally Christ's message. Not so much, look how far you've wandered off. That's not the message, man. That's not even what Christ talks about. It's more so turn around. Like, yeah, you've wandered off, but turn around, because the gospel isn't just forgiveness, man. It's redirection. It's redirection. And I can't say it enough, man. I can't say it. Micah 6:8 or 7. Don't quote me. I'm not sure, but he has shown thee, oh man, what is good. So what is good was the point of that passage. Not what is expensive, not what is impressive, not what's flashy or anything like that. Just what is good, and that's what we're talking about here. So that's a completely different pursuit. You know what I mean? And honestly, the deeper the song goes, I mean, the less it feels like it's about the one woman, right? And that's what I was kind of getting at in the very beginning, because I felt that almost immediately, right? Because we kind of like stopped talking about her for a moment and we started talking about the lessons. And I'm like, hold on, okay, so we're the woman, right? So it starts to feel more about like every person, you know what I'm saying? Every person who's ever tried to fill a spiritual void with just material things, it won't work, including us. We're a part of that. That's much. I just feel like that's definitely just a true way to really understand what we're talking about here, right? Beautiful. At the same time, it's still a good storytelling, because the woman does exist. The woman is real, whether she's real in us or someone that is a real mindset. And yeah, a lot of if you read in scripture, man, about a lot of the kings, a lot of people walk this way like the woman. So I appreciate these lyrics a lot, And I just feel like sometimes, heaven isn't, not sometimes, but sometimes we get caught up in what heaven is or what it isn't, right? I don't think heaven is, something you can buy. Obviously, it isn't something you can earn, right? Christ paid that price. He said it's finished. He paid that price on the cross for us. So it isn't something you can climb your way into. It's something that God reaches down and offers through Christ, right? And that's what makes this song, I feel like, so fascinating to me, because while she's building a stairway up, the irony is she's building a stairway up, and the gospel is the story of God coming down. That's a profound difference in what she's pursuing and what's actually being taught. And maybe the most messed up tragedy of all this isn't ending up with nothing. You know what I'm saying? That shouldn't be the fear. Maybe it's just gaining everything you ever wanted, only to discover that it isn't anything of what you ever needed. And that's sad, right? That's sad. So the scary ways to look at things, right? Scary thing isn't that heaven, can't be bought. It's just more so, it's more scary to think that you can spend your whole life trying to buy your way into something that was only really meant to be received in the end. God is love. Christ is king, man. I really appreciated this song. Thank you for everyone who's been recommending this one. And shout out to my boy Josh, who pushed this one to the front of the line with that generous donation. Thank you, Josh. Appreciate you. Let's continue this, man. I'm officially on the Led Zeppelin train. Where do we go next?